the news, Buhari approves special salary for Nigerian teachers. PDP's Eitayo Jegede gets backing of 11 political parties ahead of Ondo governorship poll. And NFF appoints new coach to head Super Falcons team. Many thanks for joining us on News Now at this time. I am Onyi Adekunle. October 5 is set aside annually to celebrate teachers across the world. And coinciding with the commemoration of 2020 World Teachers' Day, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved a special salary scale for teachers in the country. Minister of Education Adamu announced this on Monday in a speech delivered on behalf of the president. According to Adamu, the president has also increased years of service for educators from 35 to 40. The minister said the aim of this implementation of the new salary scheme is to encourage teachers in delivering better service. And as teachers in Nigeria join their counterparts all over the world to mark this year's World Teachers' Day, stakeholders in Nigeria's education sector have called on the government to revisit policies that have over the years stunted the growth of the teaching profession in Nigeria. Our correspondent Folashade Ogunride has the details in this next report.
Today, October 5, 2020, marks this year's 24th anniversary celebration of the World Teachers' Day, held annually since 1994. With the theme Teachers Leading in Crisis, Reimagining the Future, UNESCO says the day provides the occasion to celebrate the teaching profession worldwide while drawing attention to the achievements and voices of teachers, especially at a time like this, when the world is grappling with the reality of COVID-19 pandemic. In honor of this important day, some teachers share their unique experiences in the profession. They say despite overwhelming challenges in the Nigerian teaching profession, they find satisfaction in grooming young ones into valuable citizens.
For me, teaching comes from the heart. It is not just on the issue of the morning alone. So, like in my words, I love teaching. This one has given me, I don't think I can do any other profession than this teaching job, because I'm always been excited to be with them. Like today, I've gotten a lot of poems that they've written for me, talked about new songs in different languages, which I'm really, really, really excited to hear that from this young generation.
Now, if you look at just the physical and the monetary aspect, it's about, it might not be, but it's about, but then if you look at other remuneration, that is emotional aspects, and then seeing a human being that is well formed in all ramification, then I'll say it is not. It is one of the best rewarding jobs.
The reward of teachers are in heaven. In fact, there's so many rewards in heaven. Nevertheless, we're beginning to receive our rewards here on earth. And the first rewards that we receive are the success stories of the children that we teach.
Chairman of the Lagos State chapter of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, Adedoyin Adesina, also draws attention to the requirements for prospective students seeking admission into Nigeria's colleges of education. Adesina highlights low quota of marks as a major factor contributing to the poor quality of personnel in the teaching profession.
Nowadays, that some teachers that you are producing, they are not having interest. They are not having passion for teaching. You want to study geology because you don't meet up the cutoff of geology. Go and read geography education. You want to study biochemistry because you cannot meet up the cutoff point. Go and read either chemistry or biology education.
While preferring solutions to the myriads of problems mitigating the advancement of the teaching profession in Nigeria, Adesina says prompt payment of salaries, more funding, and a reassessment of education policies for the Ministry of Education would go a long way in placing Nigeria at the top with global competitors.
The social issue number one, our institute of education should be up and doing by equating the cut-off points, the standard of requirements for admission into the Institute of Education with that of medicine, engineering, and law and all other professions, so that it will not just be, education will not just be a dumping ground for those who are not having personal interest. Number two, the budgetary allocation. The government is supposed to pump a lot of money into education through good budgetary allocation. I told you, if they cannot be perfect, they should near perfection. So that people, those in the ivory tower, that is university, they will be able to have some other things to do research. When teachers need to be motivated, salaries are supposed to be paid at when due.
The oldest profession in the world is slowly but surely seeing gradual improvement in Nigeria. As part of this year's celebration, the federal government has approved a special salary scale for teachers in the country and also increased the number of years in service from 35 to 40. Folashade Ogurinde, reporting for TV360 Nigeria.
And still on the education sector, the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities has directed its members to proceed on a 14-day warning strike from Monday. SSANU, in a statement signed by its president, Samson Ugwoke, said the decision to embark on the strike follows the directives by the National Universities Commission, NUC, to vice-chancellors for the immediate reopening of universities. The warning strike, according to the senior lecturers, is over alleged inconsistencies in the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information System, EPIS, non-payment of the arrears of the national minimum wage, and the failure of the government to pay their earned allowances. The union described the strike as a prelude to a full-blown total and indefinite industrial action if their grievances were not addressed by the government. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the sum of 10 billion naira for the smooth conduct of a successful population census in the country. The acting chairman, National Population Commission, Eyitayo Oyetunji, disclosed this at a press briefing in Abuja. According to the NPC boss, the president also approved an additional 4.5 billion naira to be included in the 2021 budget for completion of the exercise as part of the preparations for the next census. Oyetunji said the exercise will outline areas in the local government areas into small geopolitical units called enumeration areas, where the NPC will collate an accurate list of infrastructural facilities and households. He added that the 10th phase of the exercise, which will commence on October 5th and end on October 29th, 2020, is inclusive of training and fieldwork and will be conducted in 33 local government areas spread across 25 states and the FCT. President Buhari has declared open the two-day joint executive legislative leadership retreat in Abuja. The retreat is designed to promote a harmonious working relationship between the two arms of government, and it is meant to further cement ties between the executive and legislature after recent disagreements involving ministers and the legislators.
I believe that the principle of separation of powers, as enshrined in our Constitution, is designed to enable all arms of government to work together in cooperative and collaborative manner through executive and legislative engagements. Let me thank the leadership and members of the 9th National Assembly for the cordial and warm relationship we have enjoyed in the last 1 year. There is a compelling need to sustain and strengthen on this partnership by creating platforms for regular dialogue, consultations, and interactions between the executive and the legislature to share ideas and build consensus on critical governance and policy issues. This approach will enhance coordination within government and strengthen our capacity to effectively address the challenges of governance, service delivery, and development.
Nuclear weapons trafficking constitutes a potential threat to international peace and security and should therefore be eliminated. And this is according to President Muhammadu Buhari in the video message to the United Nations high-level meeting in commemoration and promotion of the International Day for the total elimination of nuclear weapons. In the message, President Buhari restated Nigeria's commitment to peaceful deployment of nuclear energy.
As we meet to commemorate and further consider the imperative of total elimination of nuclear weapons, it is right to emphasize that trafficking in nuclear materials is a potential threat to international peace and security. Concrete evidence has shown that nuclear weapons are unique in their destructive power, as well as in the scale of human suffering they inflict and the misery and bad blood they leave in their wake. Hence, there is need for all states to comply with applicable international laws and conventions to ensure a world free of nuclear weapons. We must therefore redouble our efforts to implement the provisions of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, being the basis of non-proliferation regime. This is to enable us to achieve our desire for total elimination of nuclear weapons. We therefore reiterate our call on the United Nations to continue engaging nuclear weapon states to speed up their efforts in disarming and decommissioning their existing nuclear facilities.
Meanwhile, political affairs analyst and columnist Jide Ojo has urged the presidency to quit blame games and focus on doing the best the current administration can to develop Nigeria. Ojo said this on TV360, Nigeria's flagship program, TV360, in reaction to President Muhammadu Buhari's Independence Day speech, in which he chided previous administrations for almost destroying the country. The analyst says the government should work more on delivering its mandate to the Nigerian people.
That has been the trademark and the hallmark of APC administration right from 2015. You call a dog a bad name in order to hang it. Because of its own inefficiency and ineffectiveness, they continue to be in a campaign mode, talking about 16 years of PDP in government. It is because people were dissatisfied with PDP that made us to vote for President Buhari in 2015. And if he believes he couldn't get the job done, he could as well resign. But to continue to lament about the years of 16 years of PDP, you asked for it. I think there is a program that I used to show on TV. You asked for it. If you ask for something, you can't complain about it. There's a proverb in my part of the world, which I believe is also your part, that you don't task yourself to then begin to lament. You cannot say you want a job, you only want the assets, you don't want the liabilities. You must take on the assets and liabilities, and 5 years down the line, it's sufficient for you to have grappled with the challenges and overcome.
To security matters now, the Delta State Police Command has reacted to the viral video of the alleged shooting of a young man in Ughelli, Delta State, by operatives of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS. The police spokesperson in Delta State said the victim was arrested with a white Lexus Jeep without registration parked by the roadside, adding that on sighting police patrol team, the driver immediately zoomed off at high speed in a suspicious manner. The police debunked claims that the young man was shot and left to die, explaining that he sustained injuries after jumping from a moving car while trying to evade police arrest. The Katsina State Command of the Nigeria Customs Service has been thrown into mourning following the murder of one of its officers by bandits at a checkpoint in Danarau village along the Katsina-Jibia highway. Garba Nasiru, who was an assistant superintendent of customs, was killed on Friday afternoon. Security operatives reportedly engaged the bandits in a gun duel before his corpse could be retrieved from the bandits. The spokesperson for Katsina State Police Command, Gambo Issa, also confirmed the incident without giving further details. In 5 days to the Ondo governorship election, 11 of the 17 registered political parties in the state have merged and collapsed their structure to support the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Eyitayo Jegede, spokesperson of the coalition and state chairman of the Social Democratic Party, Dele Ogunbameru, While speaking to journalists, says the step became necessary to ensure victory for PDP and Jegede in the election. Ogunbamero said that the decision was made to oust the ruling All Progressives Congress APC and its candidate, Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. He said the collaboration is an organized effort to save Ondo State from the political and socio-economic predicaments it is currently in. Appreciating the group, the chairman of PDP, Fatai Adams, commended them for the decision to join the winning train, saying their support is necessary to take Ondo State to the next level. The Lagos State chapter of the Society of Nigerian Artists SNA is currently holding its 22nd edition of the October Rain exhibition titled Resilience. The event, which has several visual artists showcasing their artwork, started on October 3rd at the National Museum, Onikon, and will last for a period of 7 days. The exhibition is dedicated to the celebration of popular contemporary artist Nike Okundaye. Our correspondent Abisola Adebayo has more in this report.
It's arguably one of the biggest gatherings of visual artists and art enthusiasts in Lagos. Dedicated to the celebration of Nike Okundaye, an accomplished giant in contemporary Nigerian art, the 2020 edition of the October Rain exhibition features 60 renowned artists, among them some of the best talents in Africa and beyond. The exhibition is themed Resilience, in recognition of the struggle of Nigerian visual artists and the commendation of their abilities to sustain the tempo of art practice despite the several challenges the country has faced.
All the works in here really depicts the theme, which is resilience. It shows that come rain, come shine, the visual artists are still what people know them for. They are still great people.
The coronavirus pandemic has ushered the world into a new normal. In view of this, artists churn out beautiful pieces, bringing several masterpieces to serve as relics of the pandemic and events that happened during the COVID-19 lockdown across the world. Yusuf Durodola is one of the visual artists whose painting is on display at this exhibition. His painting, titled Who is in the Garden, is an illustration of the gender-based violence which was on the rise during the lockdown.
Some months back, we recorded a high rate of rape in our society. So I did a performance that I titled Okwakokwa, which centered on rape. So, this is also in line of that. So that's why I titled it, Who is in the Garden? A little fine girl. Can I come and see her? No, 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 no. So I'm picking my title from that end, which for us to say no to rape.
This year's theme of resilience also inspired a brilliant spoken word piece titled Life is a Dance from a participant.
The fact that artists, despite all the challenges, have remained resilient through it all. And for me, that is really inspiring. It is what inspired the poem Life is a Dance.
The festival is also a means of getaway for art enthusiasts who says it gives them a sense of belonging.
I feel honored, I feel humble. Like I said, I left my palace about 6 o'clock this morning because I want to witness today. We are all artists and I love art so much. Art is life. We are all going through art. The world itself, Shakespeare said it, the world is a theater.
I'm so excited, to be part of great people, especially friends who are, exhibiting today, displaying the beautiful ideas in their own way.
Since its debut 22 years ago, the October Rain exhibition has provided a platform for local and international visual artists to showcase their works.
No work of art is good enough until you promote it. So this kind of event is very important because it helps to draw attention, through the mass media, through what people like you are doing, to what, great inputs our artists are making.
At inception, the society allowed membership to only formally trained artists. Currently, membership has expanded to include art students in tertiary institutions, self-taught, and Nigerian artists in the diaspora. The organizations enjoin the government, corporate bodies, organizations to show more support to the growth and development of the Nigerian visual arts. Abisola Adebayo, TV360, Lagos.
Let's take a break here, but still to come. Nobel Prize in Medicine awarded to US-UK trio for discovery of hepatitis C virus. Details after this break. Glad to have you back. Here is a reminder of some of our top stories tonight. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the special salary scale for teachers in the country. Minister of Education Adamu announced this on Monday in a special speech delivered on behalf of the president. According to Adamu, the president has also increased years of service for educators from 35 to 40. The minister said the aim of the implementation of the new salary scheme is to encourage teachers in delivering better service. President Muhammadu Buhari has also approved the sum of 10 billion naira for the smooth conduct of a successful population census in the country. Acting Chairman Nigeria Population Commission Eyitayo Yetunji disclosed this at a press briefing in Abuja. According to the MPC boss, the president also approved an additional 4.5 billion naira to be included in the 2021 budget for completion of the exercise as part of preparations for the next census. The Delta State Police Command has reacted to the viral video of the alleged shooting of a young man in Ughelli, Delta State by the operatives of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad SARS. The police spokesperson in Delta State said the victim was arrested with a white Lexus Jeep without registration parked by the roadside, adding that on sighting police patrol team, the driver immediately zoomed off at high speed in a suspicious manner. The police also debunked claims that the young man was shot and left to die, explaining that he sustained injuries after jumping from a moving car while trying to evade police arrest. Welcome back, and let's shift our focus to the COVID-19 pandemic. The total coronavirus infections in Nigeria rose to 59,394 after 58 new cases, which is the lowest ever recorded, was reported on Sunday. The new infections were reported from 9 states, with Plateau leading with 18 cases. According to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control tally, 50,768 infected persons have recovered and have been discharged across the 36 states of the Federation. However, the death toll remained 1,113 as no deaths were recorded on Sunday, taking the tally to the latest figure. As public tertiary institutions across Nigeria prepare for reopening after months of closure, the Lagos State COVID-19 Committee of the Nigerian Medical Association team has paid a visit to Lagos State Polytechnic to assess the readiness of the school management to resume academic activities. Our correspondent Mojisola Matomi tells us more in this next report.
It's been over 6 months that neither teaching or learning took place within the 4 walls of Lagos State Polytechnic due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, following the directive of the government permitting the reopening of schools nationwide, students, although only a few of them, can be seen frolicking around the school premises in anticipation of the resumption of lectures. But the question on the lips of many is how ready the schools are for full reopening. The Lagos State chapter of the Nigerian Medical Association Task Force, during a routine check, says schools are fully ready to begin activities with the COVID-19 principle adherence in place. After its assessment, the task force says it's satisfied with the level of preparedness. Chairman of the task force also enjoins all school authorities to ensure obedience and enforcement of the protocols in place to prevent a surge in cases.
One thing is immediate. Immediately coming in shows that yes, the environment is very clean and it looks orderly. We have seen points of hand wash and sanitation at designated points. Also, the classrooms have designated sitting arrangement, which is about 1 meter apart, and that is the standard that we need. And we see that most of the students have knowledge of what to do and how to do them.
The only thing I'm worried about is enforcement or obeying the protocols. From what I've seen here, they have 36 students. They have a capacity to take in 36 students in a class, but there are prepared spaces for only 24. So if the students are enforced and ensure that they sit according to where they should sit, I think they are maintaining the social distance.
The school management also assured that in addition to what is on ground, more measures would be put in place as lectures commence in full.
They were so amazed with what they met on ground that we are good to go. And even though we promised to do more, create wash-hand basins, bring in more sanitizers, and what have you. And we have equally engaged our students on webinar to enlighten them on the essence of COVID-19.
Also reacting to the COVID-19 test kit developed by Nigerian researchers, Dr. Olugbodi buttressed the need for the certification by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC.
At the beginning, the federal government and the PTF was reluctant as to using other methods of COVID-19 testing apart from the polymerase chain reaction technique that we are using. And that's because we want to ensure that the process is fail safe. We want to ensure that there's no false positive results flying around, there's no false negative results flying around. That's why that polymerase chain reaction test was adhered to. But now that the burden of the virus has gone down, we can actually employ some other test kits, like rapid test kits, but we should ensure that these test kits are certified.
The task force has, however, promised to carry out more assessments across schools in the state in a bid to curb the spread of the virus. Mojisola Matomi, TV360 Lagos.
Let's take a pause here, and when we return, we'll bring you stories from business, international, and sports scene. Welcome back. Now, electricity workers under the aegis of the National Union of Electricity Employees have forwarded the injection of 1.7 trillion naira by the federal government into the power sector since its privatization. General Secretary of NUEE, Joe Ajero, during a press briefing in Lagos, criticized the federal government over 1.7 trillion naira spent on the power sector. Ajero expressed displeasure that the federal government has continued to invest money into the sector even after privatization.
Nigerian government did not spend up to 300 billion in the power sector when it was under government control. And NEPA was not allowed to increase tariff. That since the private sector took over, they have increased tariff 5 times, if not 6. Now, but NEPA was not allowed to increase tariff, yet Nigerian government was not spending up to 300, or 200 billion in the power sector before it handed it over. So you need to find out who are this private sector that government is using their money to finance. And that it was the PDP government that privatized, and that APC government have refused to reverse it. So we are saying here that it is a class thing, that the bourgeois class, have taken over the power sector across political lines. when you call it cost reflective, you calculate how much you are spending on fuel, diesel. Now, the staff cost is not a cost. You have 100% salary tariff increase. There is no increase in salary. Meanwhile, it is cost-based. So when you look at it, you discover that these are policies that cannot stand the test of time.
Moving on now to the foreign scene, the trio of Harvey Alter, Charles Rees and British-born scientist Michael Hutton have jointly won the Nobel Prize for Medicine for their discovery of the hepatitis C virus. Announcing the prize, the Nobel Committee noted that the trio's work identified a major source of blood-borne hepatitis that couldn't be explained by the previously discovered hepatitis A and B viruses. The medical prize carried particular significance this year due to the coronavirus pandemic, which has highlighted the importance that medical research has for societies and economies around the world and the damage that a single virus can wreak on the planet. And in sport, former Trinidad and Tobago coach Randy Waldrum has been appointed as the new head coach of the senior women's national team, Super Falcons. Waldrum's appointment was announced in a statement by the Communications Department of the Nigeria Football Federation, which was made available on Monday. His appointment comes a year after former coach Thomas Dennerby resigned from the Falcons' job. The Falcons have won 9 titles out of 11 editions of the Women African Cup of Nations AFCON competition held so far. And that's it on News Now at this time. Thank you so much for watching. I am Onyi Adekunle.